Hello YouTube people, today I am going to show you this vintage style and vintage sized watch from Thorn called T004. I'll show you how this watch looks like on my 16.5 centimeter wrist or 6.5 inches. In this video I will do some quality control tests, I will check the accuracy, and I will also show you how this watch looks like on some custom straps. This video is sponsored by AliExpress. AliExpress has covered the cost of this watch for this video. So AliExpress, thank you very much for sponsoring this small YouTube channel. Now let me tell you the specifications, and as always I did all the measurements myself. So this watch of the bracelet weighs 44 grams. Diameter of the bezel is 34 millimeters. Lug to lug distance is 41 millimeter. Lug width is 19. Thickness of this watch with sapphire crystal is 12 millimeters. And if I measure just the side, just a visual thickness right there where is the bezel, I get 8.3 millimeters. This watch has water resistance rating of 100 meters together with a screw down crown and screw down case back, and has PT5000 high beat automatic movement. That's how this watch looks like from top down view on my small wrist, and obviously a small watch on a small wrist looks great. And comfort, if I put this watch on a leather strap, which I'll do later for the video, it feels great, zero complaints whatsoever, but the original bracelet I do have some problems, so let me show you the original bracelet. Finishing on original bracelet, as simple as it is actually pretty good. It does not have sharpness, finishing quality is actually better than average, it does not feel sharp. Fitment inside lugs does have a little bit of a free play, even though links are solid and links are solid, it does have a little bit of a free play. Nothing too major really, but it does move a little bit from side to side, as you can see. Now, clasp on this watch is fully solid milled metal clasp. The inside is also better than average. I wouldn't call it sharp. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than average. Now, the outer shelf of the clasp has zero sharpness whatsoever, edges, corners, anywhere. This is actually a nice little piece of metal to touch. It has zero sharpness, very well done. And let me show you up close how it looks like. It has this brushing and Thorn engraving, polished out edges, and it has only two micro adjustments which sit very closely to each other, which leads to one of the problems of this bracelet for me. So let me put it on my wrist, and it has two problems. First of all, it chokes my wrist right now. I need to add extra link, and right now this watch sits a little bit awkwardly, a little bit too far to this side. I would like to pull this watch back to this side a little bit more. So I would need to remove link from this side and add link to this side, but I have already removed all three links from this side, so I can only add extra link to this side. Okay, let's do that on camera, because the way this bracelet is resized is actually genius. Let me show you. Just push this bracelet sideways like that, it opens up. Put your nail behind this and open it up, and simply unhooks, because this end of a bracelet is on a spring. Very nice, very simple. Now let's add extra link. Let's take extra link, pull it in. Now this loose end, pull it out and hook it on the pin. That's it. Now let's finish connecting this bracelet. Okay. Now also loose end, pull it out, hook it on. That's it, done. No tools needed, very simple, awesome. Now let me resize the micro adjustment hole behind the camera. Let me put it closer, because right now, previously the watch was choking my wrist. Right now it is way too loose, so let me size it up for me. So I adjusted the fitment. Right now I use tighter hole, the closer one right there. Let's see what it changes. And you know what? it changes absolutely nothing. This watch is still way too loose on my wrist right now. So the conclusions are that these two micro adjustment holes are just way too close to each other to make any kind of difference. It's like this clasp feels as if it was just a butterfly clasp, because it's basically unadjustable. And the shelf itself is, you know, unreasonably short, because the clasp, look, it is this long, and the outer shelf is just this long. There is just no reason for it to be this short, and it is also rather thick. It's not some kind of a very small slim clasp. It does have thickness, and it does show on the wrist. It is a little bit, you know, sitting a little bit awkwardly, so I just don't like the clasp. It's like the same thing as butterfly clasp. So if you decide to change it, you should know the size. The size of this clasp is 16 millimeters. Let's take a look at the case of this watch. Now, bezel is very beautiful, and you know what it copies. You know very well what it copies, and finishing is very nice, nothing to complain about. The side of the bezel is also very nice. It's very nicely polished out, just as the case itself. As you can see, it looks good. It has holes on the lug ends, so it's easier to swap bracelets and straps on this watch. The case back is plain and simple. The inside lugs polished out. The inside walls of the lugs, bottom part feels okay, top part feels just like raw cut metal, no finishing whatsoever. The lugs themselves are a little bit pointy, a little bit sharp, but there is a little bit of finishing even on the very ends of the lugs, so they are not bad. Crown looks like this, and it has beautiful engraving. Size for this watch, I would say, is perfect, although there are some problems with this crown, which I'll show a little bit later when I take off the gloves. So yeah, it's simple, nicely finished, nothing to complain. It looks really good, no? It looks really good. So let me show you the crown action. It's a beautiful little crown on this watch. Finishing on the crown is very nice. It does not feel rough. It is nicely finished, yet it has good grip. But the problem is that, you know, it's a vintage sized watch with the vintage sized crown, and it's a little bit difficult to use. Sometimes I can unscrew it with just my naked fingers, sometimes not, but screwing it back down, okay, let's catch the threading, and I screw it down and my fingers start slipping. I grip it really tight, I try to tighten it down, but I can't fully do it with just my naked fingers. As you see, the crown is not touching the case. Sometimes, quite often, I do need to use cloth to actually fully screw in the crown. That's it. Right now the crown is fully screwed in, it is touching the case, it sits nice and flush. So, you know, I'm not complaining. I understand this is a compromise of a vintage sized watch. It's just, you know, I have to show you how it is. Operating this crown could be a little bit annoying sometimes. Let's do some quality control inspection. So first of all, let's unscrew the crown. Okay, and by the way, action of the crown, winding this watch. There is something that winding PT5000 movements is a little bit difficult. They are a little bit resistant, and especially with the crown as small as this, I wind the movement right now and part of the way my fingers are just slipping over the crown. Winding up this watch is a little bit complicated, okay, let's just put it that way. Now let's check the alignment of hands. Let's put on exactly 6 p.m. Let's see if they sit straight and true. Yes, alignment seems nice. Now let's see how far from the midnight it is going to flip the date and how it flips the date. Okay, so 11 p.m, 11:30, 11:45, and only now I see that date wheel starts moving a little bit. Now I still see the date, It starts disappearing a little bit right now in the midnight. So how far it will flip? So basically 10 minutes after midnight it insta-flips the date, which, well, it's still within the respectable range, and I like that even up to the midnight you can still see the date perfectly fine. Another quality control check is how much this watch rattles, and there is no surprise, this watch has PT5000 movement and it rattles just as much as any other watch with PT5000 movement inside. They all rattle like a cat toy. All watches with PT5000 movements that I ever had, they just rattle like a cat toy. The watch is fully wound, let's see how well it runs. And let's flip it over, let's put it face down this time. How about now? Okay, and let's try with the crown facing down. Well, what conclusions to make, I don't really know. Deviation seems to be fine, I just wish it was a little bit closer to 0. Now let me give you a general look of this watch, and I would like to focus on the dial mostly. The dial on this watch, as you know, it's not original design, but it seems to be well executed. I found no quality control problems, I found no dust under the sapphire crystal, and to my eyes all the alignment seems fine, no imperfections. It's nicely done at least, okay? No, not original thing, but it's nicely executed. Now, the hands on this watch have a little edge going in the middle, and I really like that. It makes them look more three-dimensional. They don't look cheap, they look nice. The dial on this watch is silvery, also looks rather nice. I like this monochrome look. The date has nice edges, nicely done. You know, everything about this watch is actually nicely done. The case, the bezel, the crown, hands, the dial, the sapphire crystal looks really nice, and the anti-reflective coating on this sapphire crystal seems to be actually pretty good. It has a little bit of a blue shade, but it's not strong, and the effectiveness of this anti-reflective coating in real life seems to be actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. So yeah, nothing to complain about. Now let me show you how this dial looks like in some different lighting situations. Let's play a little bit with the light. Maybe let's give it a little bit of a darker look like that. It does have some specific angles where it shines just very nicely. You know, those indexes on the dial shine, hands, and also those little shiny bits on the bezel. Everything just comes together and just looks nice. Looks very sophisticated, that's how I would call it. It looks really good. Now in total dim light like that, it doesn't really have much going on unless it catches the reflection a little bit like that. It's not one of those watches where it just looks magical in a dim light. No, this one, not so much. It needs a little bit of light to sparkle in a dim light. Now speaking about dark light, let's turn off lights completely. This watch does have a little bit of lume, but not much. I tried using this watch as my night watch, and telling the time on this watch in the morning was a real struggle. So no, lume on this watch is not great actually. Anyway, this is a very beautiful thing. Now let's play a little bit more with the light. Let's turn off this light, how it looks like without this orangey backlight. Now I like it more with the orangey backlight. Very lovely looking thing. Now about the size of this watch. You know, on the watch, on the wrist, it doesn't look naturally nice. I would say it's more of an acquired taste rather than naturally looking beautiful, you know? It's something that you're gonna notice that this watch is suspiciously small. Yeah, let's just put it that way. This is an acquired taste thing. You know, with the bracelet, it's not really that noticeable that this watch is extra small. But once I put it on a leather strap, it becomes more apparent. So let me do that. On a black suede leather strap is how I have worn this watch for the past couple of days. And I've been absolutely loving it. I mean, just look at this thing. Just take a good look. It looks really special. It looks really special. It's very beautiful. It looks rather posh, you know, rather expensive. It's as an accessory on a man's wrist. I think this watch does a great job. It looks really, really good, really special. And I like this watch on leather straps way better, not just because of the comfort, but also I just like the looks a lot better on a leather strap. I usually tend to call brown leather straps boring, but on a vintage style watch like this, I would say that it fits really nicely, this watch, and it really fits the character, and it looks nice. It looks nice. It's one of those exceptions, in my opinion, where brown leather strap does not look boring because of the watch. And this green suede leather strap is probably the least boring option out of all the three that I have. It looks really nice, it looks really special. You know, special watch, special size on this very, you know, rather posh looking leather strap. It looks really interesting. Very nice combination. And let me show you the same thing from the third person view. How it looks like on my wrist, as if you were sitting next to me. It does look special. No, not only the strap combination on a watch, but also pay attention to the watch itself, how it looks on a person. It does appear to be something intriguing, you know, suspiciously special. That's how I could call this watch. This watch looks suspiciously special. Very nice thing. The boring but classic option on a classic watch, brown leather strap. It does look, you know, appropriate, okay? It looks appropriate, it looks original. Doesn't raise any questions of customization. It does look like it's original. Very nice. Such a classy looking thing. And this black suede leather strap is my current favorite. This is my most worn strap right now. I wear the strap on any watch that I can. I really like how deep black it looks like. This suede leather finishing makes this black color look really deep. It has no reflections. It looks really special. You know, special strap on a special watch. I really like it. And what I like the most is how comfortable it is. It is very, very comfortable strap, and it's very durable as well. I made some extra holes for myself, and it is holding just fine. All the stitching and everything, it's very durable strap, and it's a cheap one. Usually they cost less than 5 euros. So if you are interested, I'll put a link in the description where you can find one. And let's finish this video with the original bracelet on this watch, which I don't like. I don't like it because I can't get perfect fitment on my wrist, and generally I just much rather prefer the looks of this watch, how it looks like on leather straps. To my personal taste, this watch looks way better on leather straps. So how could I summarize this watch? You know, even though I have mentioned several negative things about this watch, I don't think that any of them are deal breakers. I think this watch is special enough to be justified purchase at this price point. It is a well-built watch. You know, it's a vintage style watch, vintage size watch without any problems of an actual vintage watch that would come at this price point. You know, that's the main selling point in my opinion. And this watch does look very special, very nice watch. So that's it. That's all I have to show you today. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.